Why do you have mood swings? My name is Sharon Crandall and I am a personality manager. As a personality manager, I am trained to assess your personality traits by measuring your facial features and other physical characteristics. You were born with over 50 personality traits inherited through your genetic pattern. So, why do you have mood swings? You are going to be very surprised at my simple explanation of why you have mood swings. Unfortunately, in all my years of being a personality manager, I have never heard a satisfactory explanation from the scientific community of why a person has mood swings other than it is hormonal. I know mood swings can be caused by hormonal changes, but those are much different than what I am talking about here, and it does not explain the mood swings that many people have. So the answer to why many people have mood swings is simply this: you have two sides to your genetic personality pattern. This means that since we measure your personality traits from your physical features, you will have a different measurement on one side of the body than the other. And this could be a little difference or a lot of difference. Two different measurements denote two different feelings that lead you to act and or react in different ways. With the trait of tolerance, for example, depending on which side is activated, you might feel more laid back in one mood and stricter in the other mood. You will see the big picture and are more understanding and tend to be late to events. And on the other side, you worry about getting things done, being on time, and having a more difficult time letting things go. In other words, you're more laid back or more uptight, depending on your mood swing. We do not know exactly how or why this happens, at least to my knowledge, but you will feel differently on one side than the other for sure. Believe me when I tell you that you do react different ways when you have a mood swing. And you can feel very much pulled apart, like you're having a tug of war. I sometimes tell my client that is like holding a team of horses in one hand and a set of horses taking you the other way. And you do feel torn apart. Once we find mood swings, we work together to help you form a plan to get all those horses going the same direction. And you can do that. And so it actually gives you more power in your personality when you are able to do that. Once you are aware, sometimes you actually can feel the brain switch from one side to the other. In any case, you can learn to direct your brain to activate either side as needed. When out of control, changing from one mood to another creates all sorts of problems, depending on how wide the mood swing is. Sometimes there is just a minor mood swing that only causes a slight ebb and flow to your personality, but sometimes it causes confusion, doubt, inertia, and even depression and guilt. It is sad to see someone who has suffered many years with these mood swings. So often people with such mood swings often feel like something is wrong in their brains. They feel quite crazy and not know why. Believe me, I can attest to this. I cried with relief when I found out that I was not crazy and that all my mood swings were good. Actually, a gift. Before taking personality science, I believe there is nothing good about being up and down, confused, stuck, basically torn in two, and not knowing what to do or where to go. Imagine instantly realizing how my personality was a blessing. Now I love my mood swings because when you have control over them, it means that you get to be who you want to be in the moment. Just a personal note, my serious and introvert side is dominant in my personality, but then I can swing to the more outgoing side. For example, when I first showed my outgoing side to my church family, I did a stand-up comedy routine that included a somewhat outlandish dance. I had a few jaws open and eyes popping in their reactions, and it was great fun. One lady laughed at me and said, "Sharon, I didn't know you had that in you." And so it was rewarding for me to understand my traits and see the wonderful gifts that I have been given. As a personality manager, I can help you to direct the challenging side of your traits, and if you have mood swings or not, and get them to work for you instead of against you. Even understanding one trait can free you from all sorts of problems with yourself and your interaction with others. I find that those who have many mood swings either use those traits to become outstanding people, even leaders, or they can end up being dragged down by their traits and sometimes even to the point of being criminals. Find some photos of some criminals. Cover each side of their faces with a piece of paper and notice how different some of them are between the two sides of their faces. So do that, it's very interesting. I also see extreme measurements in some of their traits, and that can cause many problems too if not understood, and not understanding how to handle such extreme behavior. I am sure they have had many challenges and really do not understand why. If a person is either very high or very low on a trait such as tolerance, critical perception, or idealism, there can be trouble. Also, being high adventure or high impetuous can add to their challenges. All these challenges can be directed to being an asset. And look at the following case histories of 3 criminals. Edward Vincent Jones, who is the founder of personality science, did a lot of his research in San Quentin prison many years ago, when verifying the traits of science of persons, he called it. He knew that in order to get cooperation from the inmates, he needed to get the leaders on his side, the leaders of the pack, so to speak. He picked out 3 of the natural leaders and recruited their help in working with the inmates. In working closely with the 3 leaders, he was able to influence them, and when they saw the effect of what was happening to his research, he was able also to influence them greatly in their own lives. As the story goes, he told one of the leaders that he should be a poet. He was in prison for life, but he wrote 26 volumes of poetry at a time when you had to hand set the type to get it printed. And then he told the second leader that he should, if I remember correctly, write musical scores, which he did after he got out of prison. And the third one, he told that he should be in charge of personnel, and he was able to secure just such a position when he got out. I can't remember which one also became a leader in the JC's organization of Southern California. All 3 turned out their lives for the better. And I've seen this happen with many people in learning about their traits. Each person on the planet has a tool of personality science if they will use it. And if they do use personality science, they will definitely increase their value of themselves as a human being. Whenever I hear someone taking their own life, I wonder if they would have done that if they had known whom they really were and what they had to offer the world.